And now, introducing Casey Carter.
Hey, it's Wednesday, it's 8 o'clock, and it is time for Casey at Night. I am your hostess, Casey Carter. So, Wednesday, hump day. Whew, me tell you, these weeks are getting longer and longer and longer. And I don't know about you, where you are in the world, but this week it was hot. We've been pushing 90 since Sunday, and I think we're pushing 90 all the way through the weekend, which I am not complaining because, as you know, I spend my weekends at the pool. So, very grateful for the hot weather over the weekend. Hopefully, you had a great weekend leading up into a great week, leading, I'm hoping, to a holiday weekend. So we're about to set this off together. Yeah. All right. So if you were with me last week, you know I talked about the thruster. I'm not going to torture you all again with all the gyrating and all the things it can do. All right. Well, maybe later. Later, I might show you video again of all the things it can do. But yes, I got a few messages, about folks who said they bought their thrusters. So I'm going to say this to all of you. If you decide you want to experiment with a thruster, make sure you go to my website. Scroll down on the homepage. You will find a link to purchase your thruster. You're thinking, Casey, why do I have to go to your website? Are you getting paid? Yeah, is exactly why I'm sending you to my website. Yes, I'm going to get paid if you buy a thruster having started at my website. There we go. It's all out in the open. No shame in my game. Plus, if you go to the website, they're giving a 15% discount. But if you go to my website, they're giving a 20% discount. So, yeah, go to my website to get your thruster at 20% off and free shipping. Don't miss that, y'all. I don't want to have to tell you again. I had somebody on Instagram send me a message to say, hey, I bought a thruster. I bought two. I bought one for me and one for my future mistress. Twice I had to ask, did they get it from my website? No response. I guess we know they did not go to my website. But for those of you, again, somewhere later in the show, I'm going to run video. So if you've not seen the thruster, I'm gonna show it to you again. Promise, I'm gonna show it to you again. But this week, here's the deal. This week, I want to get right to it. I don't even want to play around because, normally I might give you another little video, little promo, something or another. But I'm thinking today we just gonna get right on up in it. So today's topic is Yes, 9 things your parents should have told you about sex, starting with sex is messy. Who knew? Right? Like, I bet you some of y'all did know. Some of y'all are like, oh my God, there's fluids, there's non fluids. Sex is messy. It's messy between if you are someone who sweats profusely because you're putting in the work. It's messy if, if you freaky and you do it while you got your period. It's messy. It's messy if you're a squirter. It's messy, and it could be messy. Let me say it that way. It could be messy if doing anal or not, but things come out from there. It's just messy. And for as open as my mom was, that didn't come up. Did not come up. That it's messy. But guess what? It's normal. That's my whole point in saying sex is messy. And that messy is normal. It's super, super, super normal. So for those of you who, um, you get a little freaked out by what may come out of you, and most of the time that's us ladies. We stuff happens with us, things just whatever. um, Calm down, roll with it. So yes, number one, sex is messy. Oh, and let me say this, that's excluding if you bring things into the situation, because it could be messy from your props, whether you um, bring food, liquids, ice, whatever the case is. Just have this understanding. It's messy. Messy. Number one, sex is messy. Up next, use lube. Lots and lots of lube. Okay, so this comment is very specifically for the young ladies who like to remind us that in their youth, they're super lubricated. I don't need no lube. I'm always wet. I'm wet the drop of a time. My pussy drips. I squirt. You misunderstand the point of the lube. The lube isn't just because your vagina is not wet enough. The lube actually enhances the experience. And I'm going to tell you another thing. This is a Casey secret. Lean in close. I use lube with my toys. And let me tell you why. The feeling is completely different. Completely different when I use the toys to use the lube. No lube, it's good, it works, it's whatever. More lube, whoo, buddy. I'm here to tell you. All right, so now let's talk about this. First of all, I didn't bring any samples because I didn't want anybody saying that I prefer this or that, or I'm promoting this, or this is that, and I prefer all natural, and because the depth and breadth of your options, huge, 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 huge. What I recommend is you try everything. Okay, maybe not everything, because I'm going to tell you what not to do. But try as many things as out there. If you're a person who believes in natural products, then, try those that are all natural. Things like coconut oil, or things that are created by nature. If you're someone who doesn't like it overly chemical, there are big brands that sell what they call natural um, lubes, and they're made with fewer chemicals. And there is a difference in the texture. I will tell you that there is a difference in the texture. And speaking of texture, depending upon if you're using condoms, if you're using a certain type of toy, certain type of condom, you have to be very cognizant of what type of lube you use, because this lube doesn't like that product and that product doesn't like that lube. So I suggest you have an arsenal of everything. Everything. Whether the lube gives you a warm sensation, whether the lube gives you a tingling sensation, a numbing sensation, whether the lube is cool, whether it's more, more, how do I say? I've got some that look more like lotion. I don't like those as much. They have a sort of a tackiness to them. But again, this is your preference. This is what works with your body chemistry. So understand, lube isn't about whether or not you naturally lubricate. Lube is about making that sensation feel better. Also, for you youngins who like to say, oh, my pussy wet, I got that wet ass pussy. Another little secret your mama didn't tell you. The lube helps to avoid micro tears, right? So even if, dude was down there munching for forever and you're like, just just slippery when wet, whether you're a gusher and you're gushing everywhere, that doesn't necessarily prevent you from getting micro tears. And a micro tear is when you get a cut in the skin so fine it's not visible. But I promise you, go to the bathroom, you'll feel it. Afterwards, after say your first go round and that micro tear happens and you go to have sex the next time, all of a sudden you're gonna feel it. You're not gonna know what to do about it. You're gonna be a little freaked out. That's why you use lube. Helps you avoid the little micro tears. Because let me tell you, the vaginal skin, super sensitive. Sensitive. So, again, for you youngins, it ain't about whether or not you got a wet ass pussy. It's all about whether or not you want to protect that wet ass pussy. Is all I'm saying. All right, up next. Ask for what you want. Number 3. So, seems simple, right? A lot of y'all don't do it. So, for those of you, say, who are in the dating scene, right? And you date Bob this week, and you've been dating Bob now 6 months, and you and Bob have a groove, and it's good. It's good. But you've never actually had conversation about what you like. And so while it's good, Bob is doing what he did with Becky, but you're Sue. So Sue likes something other than what Becky likes. But you've never told Bob that you don't like it when he pulls on your hair. You didn't tell Bob you don't like it. Bob is doing it because Becky liked it. Bob is failing to realize that what Becky likes doesn't automatically mean Sue likes it. So Sue, you need to tell Bob, baby, don't pull my hair. Don't pull my hair. But after you've told him not to pull your hair, you then need to tell him what you do like. That is so important. I think a lot of us ladies are very, very, very uncomfortable telling our partner what we do and what we don't like. Instead, we just take it. And, for those things that go on that we don't like, we may not verbally say we're not digging it, but we certainly physically let people know we're not digging it. And I don't know about you. So maybe let me speak on behalf of me. I will let you know physically that I'm not digging it. And the reason why I say that's a bad thing, because dudes don't pick up on non-verbal cues. You're going to have to tell them. They're not mind readers, and they don't pick up on nonverbal cues. So, they're going to be in their flow, and they're not going to notice you went dead fish on them. Not going to notice. So if you don't want that to happen, if you don't want to be, zoned out because he's doing some shit that you're like, the fuck are you doing? Tell them. Tell your partner. whether whoever your partner is, tell your partner, baby, let me tell you what I like. Remember that time you did that thing? Can you do that again? Or here's what I'd like to try. I've never tried this before. Or, you know, if you're someone who masturbates, I do this thing when I masturbate. Maybe it'll feel different when you do it. No matter what, no matter what, you need to speak up about what you like in the bed. Number 3 on the 9 things your parents should have told you about sex. All right, little quick break. I'll be right back. Can I just say I love the fact that there are sound effects available and that I can put my own applause on there. Love that. All right, so here we are. 9 things your parents should have told you about sex. 1, sex is messy. 2, use lube. 3, ask for what you want. Number 4, post-sex potty. Okay, and so I'm not talking about the weed you smoke after sex. That's not the pot tea I'm referring to. I'm talking about straight up get up out the bed and go to the bathroom. No, that's not going to affect the mood. I know that's what you're thinking. You are. You're thinking, oh, but you do. I do it like right after, like people come and I'm jumping up to go to the bathroom. That's what I'm saying. Because if you pause to get into that snuggle mode, you're not gonna get up and go to the bathroom. And let me tell you why you need to go to the bathroom. You want to avoid a UTI. And getting up to go to the bathroom will help you to avoid the UTI. I bet you if you think about it, you have an urge to go to the bathroom and you just ignore it because you're in that moment, your legs are wobbly, whatever the case is. You need to get up to go to the bathroom within those first 5 minutes. It will help to flush things out of your system. And again, do not feel like you're jacking the mood because if you get a UTI, it's going to jack the mood later. So a quick 60-second potty break is not going to kill the moment. I promise you. And it's funny because this is something I stumbled on strictly by accident. I didn't need to be long before I knew it would help me avoid a UTI. I just started doing it because I had to go. Like I literally had this urge to go to the bathroom, so I just started doing it. And then I learned that it was helpful, and so now it's like, who can get to the bathroom first? I promise you, it's gonna be me. You go. Listen, I have rolled out of the bed just so I can get to that bathroom first. Um, Sounds crazy. And I promise you, your parents probably, even if they were like really open about sex, a lot of your parents probably still wouldn't have told you to go to the bathroom right after. No, but who thinks about that? Nobody thinks about that. I'm not even sure if I told my own kids. I might have told my daughter. I don't recall. If not, I'm going to tell her after the show. But post sex potty break, then you can have your pot. But post sex potty, it's a must. Put it on your list of things to do. Number 5, put your mouth on it. Casey, what do you mean by that? Baby, what do you think I mean by that? That's what I mean. Yeah. So when I was young, God, I had to be 5 when my mom first started talking about sex to me. This is no lie, y'all. 5. 5 years old. And before you try to shame me and my mom, fuck you. This is why I am who I am today. Because my mom, right from the very beginning, it was a vagina, it was a penis, a dick. It wasn't a hoo hoo and a ha ha and a wee wee. What the fuck is that? No, that's not what that is. She called them what they were and explained how they operated and explained what happens when they join up. She explained it all. She explained what a menstrual period was, what a menstrual flow was. She explained what ejaculation was. She explained what a hard dick was. She explained everything. And yes, I was 5 years old. And yes, I had books. There was like a little 4-book collection. No clue what the hell she was talking about. But I was 5 years old when she first started talking to me. And I guess you can say it started off basic with the idea of what things were. And it just sort of evolved from there. As I went through my physical changes, puberty, having boyfriends, relationships, or what have you, the conversation would get deeper and deeper and deeper. And so things she had already said, she would now say, expound on. And one of the things my mom used to tell me that at the moment had me cringing was, there's nothing wrong with sucking dick. My mother said that to me. I was a teenager the first time she said it, and I was like, what did you just say? Girl, ain't nothing wrong with sucking dick. To this day, remembering my mom saying that is like, wait, what? What? What made it so crazy for me in that moment, I wasn't even having sex. I wasn't having sex. So now all of a sudden, we've gone from just talking about sex to talking about sucking dicks. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Okay, thanks, Mom. Good to know. To know my mother is to know she gonna say some shit to you. She ain't even gotta know you well. She gonna say shit. And that was one of those things that I didn't even know what to do with at the time. It was just, we'll just store that back here somewhere. We'll put it in the back. We'll come back to that later. But I say that to you now because there's a lot of you that probably are still uncomfortable with that idea. Now, I'm not trying to force you to do something you don't want to do. What I'm telling you is you need to be more comfortable than not. And you need to take your time, start off slow, because I know when I did eventually get around to it, it was a progress. It was a progression, if you will. And I had the right partner at the time. Um, because he knew I hadn't done it before and wasn't trying to make me do more than I was comfortable doing. And so it was, it was a slow process. It was simple. It was easy. I wasn't expected to deep throat anything that first time I did it. Wasn't expect to gargle on balls and wasn't expect to do any of those things, but having already had it in my mind that it was okay, and then having a partner that was okay with the fact that at that time I hadn't done it and they were willing to be my guinea pig, it made getting comfortable with it a whole lot easier. So, and I'm not saying this strictly to the women. There are some of you fellas who won't put your mouth on it. Some of y'all are famous and you've already told the world you weren't going to put your mouth on it. Fuck you too. Put your mouth on it. If you ain't ready to put your mouth on it today, what I want you to do is I want you to go down there and I want you to blow on it. I want you to get faced. I want you to get this close. That's how close I want you to be. Even if you're not ready to put your mouth on it, I need you to get all up in it, because You probably don't want to put your mouth on it because you probably ain't never really had a good look at it. You ain't never been close to it. You don't really know. You think you know what it looks like, but you're not really sure. Like, and so you're uncomfortable getting that close. Get up on it. Look at it. Put your hands all over it. Blow on it. Flick it. I know some of y'all are gonna be like, did she just tell them to flick it? Yeah, I did. Because I want you to see how your partner reacts and responds. So I want you to get up on it. I want you to touch it, flick it. Oh, ooh, okay, that's what happens when I do stuff, right? Like literally get up on it so you can get comfortable. So that one day when you're this close, you can just stick out your tongue and see what happens. Number, what did I say that was? Number 5, put your mouth on it. Number 6, feel yourself. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Masturbate. All right, you're not comfortable with that? All right, so let's reel it in. Let's pull back a little bit. If you're not comfortable with the idea of masturbating, and I'm right now I am very specifically speaking to the ladies. If you're not comfortable with the idea of masturbating, I want you to at least get comfortable with the idea of feeling yourself. Touch your vagina. A lot of you haven't even looked at it. I want you to not only look at it, I want you to touch it. I want you to see how it responds to being touched. Why is that such a big deal? Because a lot of you aren't experiencing full pleasure because you're not used to, you're not comfortable with how your body reacts to being touched. So you need to touch it. So for a minute, let's just stick with what I said about you need to feel yourself. Because see, and the crazy thing is on my cue card, let me tell you what it says on my cue card. On my cue card, it actually says masturbation. But I know some of you are uncomfortable with that. Some of you are still trying to break free of religious doctrine and the teachings that you don't touch yourself, that your body belongs to your husband. Mm. As if to say his don't belong to you. And yes, it does say that, husbands and wives belong to one another, but we all know they're really stressing it towards us. So, yeah. So, but again, I want you to touch your body. I want you to touch your breast. And if you're not doing self breast exams, here's a good opportunity to get to know that sucker too. But yeah, you need to be touching yourself. You need to not only touch yourself, but you need to look at your vagina because going back to what I said earlier about sex being messy, you need to see that things come out of it, whether it's clear and slippery or whether it's a little milky. And you need to also be aware of the fact that there could be an odor and there could be discharge. If you're not looking, you may not notice and you may catch it late, whatever it is that's going on. So I want you to get comfortable touching yourself. Again, we're not going to use the full-on masturbation word because some of y'all are uncomfortable. But get comfortable touching yourself. Touch your vagina. It's yours. We've already got way too many men trying to tell us what we can do with our body. That thing is yours. You own it. It was given to you as a gift, and you need to appreciate your gift. So touch yourself. Now, fellas, it's clear I don't need to tell y'all to touch yourself. But what I want you to do is encourage your partner. If you are in a heterosexual relationship and you have a partner that's uncomfortable with that, I want you to encourage it, even if it means you taking your hand to grab their hand, to place their hand in that place. Or if it means you hold up a mirror so that they can look at themselves. I want you to try to be a part of that experience because it creates this intimate exchange, and you all know how I feel about intimacy. but it creates an intimate exchange with you and your partner, and it helps to build the relationship. It helps to bond you together even more. And hey, listen, when your partner is comfortable in their skin, they are comfortable with you in their skin. So it's a win-win. It is a win-win. Now, for those of you who are not uncomfortable with the word masturbation, I don't know if my mom didn't tell me not to, but I know a lot of you grew up with parents, the church, an elder, whether it's family member or someone in the church, they highly discouraged it. And even to this day, they will have you to believe that you are a deviant, that it will affect your ability to be intimate with your partner, that you can become obsessed, that you can not be able to perform if you are masturbating too much. There's probably a small percentage of truth in all of that. But hey, for some of you dudes, masturbating might be a really good way of then being able to focus on your partner's pleasure. And that's of any relationship configuration, whether you're in a same-sex relationship or whether you're in a hetero relationship. You being able to masturbate and bring yourself to pleasure allows you to then focus on your partner's pleasure. So nothing wrong with it, is all I'm saying. Or at least that's what my mama said. Anyway, number 6, feel yourself. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Maybe 2.
Nominated Best Lifestyle in Adult Industry Erotic Writer and Best Lifestyle Adult Educator, Casey Carter. Winners will be announced September 18, 2021.
And with that, again, tonight's topic: 9 things your parents should have told you about sex. So now we're up to our last 3, 7, 8, and 9. So up next is experiment. Experiment. Casey, what is that supposed to mean? What do you mean by experiment? I don't know, try something different. Do something new. What haven't you done? What has piqued your interest? What have you heard about? Are you doing the same 2, 3 positions all the time? Do you go through the same routine? You suck me, I suck you, we fuck, we go to the bathroom for that post-sex potty, and then everybody goes to sleep. Like, is that the routine? Is it always in the dark? Is it always on the, in the bed? Is it always just a special holiday? Is it always on Saturday? Whatever your routine, do something different. Give it a whole new twist so that you can maybe feel something different, because you never know. You may be like, no, I'm good because this always works. I get off. I'm good. And then all of a sudden you try something a little different and you're like, oh my God, I hear bells and birds and fireworks. All because you tried something different. So experiment, whether it's with a toy, whether it's with a position, whether it's with multiple partners, whether it's location, try something different. If you value your sexual experiences and what benefits they bring to you, try to keep it as fresh and flowing as possible. And experimenting can literally be whatever you say it is. It's not that you have to, it's not that you have to try to have a 50 Shades experience. It's not that you need to try BDSM. It's not that you have to try to do something in public. It's something new, something different, something that you think is going to raise your excitement level. And so that's why experimenting it's a good thing. It can only help. Because even if you try something and you're like, oof, no, I don't like that. Not doing that again. Now you know. Now you know. So now you try something different. Or you don't do it exactly like that the next time. So on my list of 9 things your parents should have told you, number 7, experiment. And now, number 8. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. What are they? People? Yeah. But that's not what I'm talking about. Penises? Yeah. All shapes, sizes, and colors. But I'm not just talking about penises. I'm talking about vaginas. I'm talking about boobs. I'm talking about assholes. All of that. It all comes in different shapes, sizes, and colors. Some of them are going to appear, oh, that's so cute. Some of them are going to be ugly. Some of them are not going to look like you think they look. Like, I think it probably disturbs people when they're with say, a brown skinned person and their penis has a light tip. You're like, well, that's not right. Is there something wrong with it? Did they fuck it raw? Is that why there's no color? They just come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. It's just that simple. You may be with someone whose penis is darker, like completely darker when it's hard, engorged, if you will. It's not that unusual. Not that unusual. And do not make the mistake of trying to say that you can figure out the size of someone's penis based on the size of their hands, their feet, their body. Don't do that, because even if they did have a big dick, they may not know what to do with the big dick. So what's the point? Been there, done that. What's the point? Don't do that to yourself. Just be in anticipation of the experience more than of whether or not that person has a big dick. Now, as far as vaginas go, ooh, buddy, I'm always amazed. You look at your own, ladies, look at your vagina. You look at your own, and you look at others, and you're like, oh, mine doesn't look like that. There's just something wrong with mine. My lips are big. My this hangs out. It's fat. My clit pokes out. Mine looks big compared to hers. Hers looks so small. Don't do that, because it's yours. Yours is yours, and that's how it's supposed to look. Unless there's something like actually medically wrong with it. But for the most part, your vagina looks like your vagina is supposed to look. It is not supposed to look like Becky's, because that's Becky. You're Sue, and Sue, your vagina looks like Sue's vagina. So if Becky's got this cute little prepubescent looking vagina, and you on the other hand have lips that hang like curtain shades, drapes and whatnot, girl, that's just your shit. And apparently your vagina wants to be seen more than Becky's wants to be seen. So again, genitals come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Some women with big boobs have little teeny tiny areolas. Some women with little boobs have big areolas, big nipples, little nipples, nipples the size of a quarter, nipples the size of a saucer plate. You cannot predict what a person's body is going to look like. What you can predict, it may not look like the last one you saw. So you can be in a room full of big boobs and be like, okay, I thought all big boobs had big areolas. I thought all little boobs had little areolas. Nope. So your parents should have told you genitals come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and there's no way to accurately predict what you're dealing with. And finally, number 9. Number 9 is it's okay to talk in and out of the bed. So, what I mean by that is, and I promise you, dudes may have had their dad, tell them how to talk shit, but generally speaking, your parents aren't going to tell you that it's okay to talk in the bed, out of the bed. And what I'm referring to is across the board. It can be whether or not you make any noise during sex, whether or not you allow yourself to ooh, ah, and moan, to scream, to purr, to growl, to yell at the top of your lungs. It's all good. It's not unusual. It is, it's probably more uncomfortable if you're doing it in silence. I don't know about you. I do not like a silent partner. I don't care if all you do is express your pleasure. I like to know you and I are in the room together. I don't want to feel like am I the only one here enjoying this? I need you to say something. Give me something. Because at the end of the day, that heightens the experience. When I hear my partner enjoying it, whether it's them shit talking or whether it's them just moaning and groaning in their own pleasure, it actually brings more pleasure to me. Um, Thank you, Duchess. I love the sounds the best. Yeah, there's just something about that. There's something about hearing your partner in that moment. And again, like I said, whether they are in the midst of enjoying themselves or whether they are in the midst of enjoying you, it's just that idea of being able to enjoy them in whatever it is that's bringing them that pleasure. Now, on top of that, I want you to be talking afterwards. I want you to say, oh my God, baby, when you did that thing you did, like you've never done that before. Or normally when you do it, blah, blah, blah. But this time, whoo! Like, I want you to be talking even when you're not having sex. I want you to talk during sex. Make some sounds. Let me know you're there. But afterwards, I want you to recap. I want you to play Monday Night Quarterback. I want you to let your partner know, here's what was doing it for me. And that might also be the moment to tell them, I wasn't really that crazy about that one. Yeah. Because I don't want you to say it like that in the midst. Because I can't tell you how many times I've seen the dick do this. Because their ego, and y'all men, you know your egos are fragile. Don't bullshit me. The minute you tell some dude you don't like something that they're doing, yeah, don't do it then. Don't. I don't care how much you're not liking it. You make some sort of move. Even if you got to say, baby, let me switch up my position real quick. Like, squash that thing you're not digging by you changing positions. And then later, come back and say, boo, listen, let's not do that one anymore. I'm not really quite digging on that, Yeah, nah, no. But, folks, I am big on communication. None of us, and this is myself included, I am not saying I have it on lock. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. What I'm saying is I'm very conscious of the fact that it is super, super important. And I'm very conscious of sharing with my partner what I like, what I don't like, what I want to try, what I don't want to try. And even in the moment, there's been a couple of times where, okay, yeah, I've growled and was like, the fuck, Casey? And then I thought, shit, you know what? I'm a bad bitch. I'm growling. If that's how I'm feeling, that's what the fuck I'm doing. So, yeah, because in that moment of me accepting the growl, it also was like this heightened sexual moment. In the back of my mind, I'm always like, I don't know what you came here for. I don't know what you experiencing right now, but this shit right here is all about me, and I'm taking that moment. I am grabbing that moment by the horns. I'm dragging it all around. I'm riding that shit like a bucking bronco because I value my experience. You may not be who I'm with tomorrow, but baby, I'm going to promise you, I'm going to remember that moment. I'm going to remember that moment because I allowed myself to fully experience it. So, folks, talk to your partner. Tell your partner what you're digging, what you're not digging. Let your partner hear you dig it. Because I promise you, the minute they know you're enjoying yourself, whoo, baby, they're going to want to make sure you keep enjoying yourself. So that was number 9. So again, our list is as so. Our list of 9 things your parents should have told you about sex. Number 1, sex is messy. Number 2, use lube. Number 3, ask for what you want. Number 4, post-sex potty is a must. Make that trip to the bathroom after sex. Number 5, put your mouth on it. Yeah, that's me saying you need to get up in that oral. But put your mouth on it. Number 6, feel yourself. And for those of you who are not uncomfortable, masturbate. Number 7, experiment. Try something new. I don't care what that new thing is. Just try something new. Try something new. When you push your borders out, you can never come back to where you were. So try something new. Get on up in there. Number 7, experiment. Now that's a little different. No, I'm sorry. 7, experiment. That should try something new. Number 8, they come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Please don't forget that. Please don't forget. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. And number 9, it's okay to talk in and out of bed. All right. I got a quick break for you. So, tonight on... Hold on, let me make sure I got this set up. Tonight on BoobTube, we are doing a military theme in honor of Memorial Day. And, okay, so I'm going to say something which may seem really silly, but I looked up the difference between, say, Memorial Day and Veterans Day, just because when I was doing my list, there were so many movies. I needed to figure out whether or not I was picking the right movies for the theme. But anyway, tonight, 10 o'clock, Exotica TV. We are on YouTube and Twitter. And you can go to the website, www.exotica.tv. Catch the show.
For the cup, yeah. I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need. Tell them giddy up. I got horses in the back, trunk in the front, exterior red and that inside buttercup. I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need. Tell them giddy up.
Oh. Thank you, as always, for being here. I want to shout out to my girl, Duchess Cashmere, who, let me tell you, when a lot of people want to collaborate, right? Like a lot of people, they want, oh, I want to work with you. I want to do something with you. And I invited Duchess Cashmere to give you all a little taste of what she does, to give you just a little bit of the Duchess. And what I love about working with her is she's a quick study. She, recognized that there's a theme every week and has started creating her little bits for us based on topics that I'll be covering. And I appreciate a professional who contacts you and says, hey, what you got coming up? What we gonna do next? And I, told girlfriend, let me get past today. But I'm also open to suggestions. So while I'm encouraging her to say, hey, here's what I'm talking about, or here's what I'd like to do a piece for you on this particular subject, I'm also saying to all of you, what would you like to talk about? What do you want to know more about? What really piques your interest? Or what are you saying? Oh my God, Casey, what is the big deal with this? And why are we talking about that? And what's a vaginal steam? And what's with the cock ring? What does the cock ring do? Listen, you can find me on Twitter at CaseyAtNight, on Instagram at CaseyAtNight. You can go to my website, www.casey-carter.com, and holler at me. What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about? Because listen, I can do this for days. By the end of this weekend, I'm going to know what I want to talk about for the rest of June, which basically was next week. But there are things I want to talk about because I get comments from people here and there. But I want you submit your suggestions. What's tickling your fancy? What do you want to hear? What would you like to hear the Duchess give words on? There you go. Because she's the female Dolomite, as she has told us. And I would love to hear what you would want to hear the Duchess give words on. Because it just tickles me anyway. So, again, vote for Casey Carter at ASN Lifestyle Magazine Awards.com. Check us out on BoobTube at 10 o'clock. I'll be back. I'll be back next Wednesday. We'll see what I talk about on Wednesday. Haven't decided just yet because, again, I'm about to do that over the weekend. Take my holiday. And for all of you, again, thank you so much for joining me every week, watching the replay every week. I really, really appreciate it. I love being here with you all. You have no idea what the buildup is like to get to this moment, but it brings me a lot of joy to spend time with you, talking, and giving you a chance to say what you need to say in a safe space. So, until the next time we meet, bye.